Welcome to Courtside Moms. I'm Wendy Sparks.
And I'm Stephanie Folahan.
Today we have the awesome pleasure of speaking with Miss Essence Bembry, the mother of DeAndre Bembry of the Atlanta Hawks.
Welcome to the show, Essence.
Thank you guys for having me.
We appreciate you coming on the show. So our fans want to know, tell us in 20 words or less, who is DeAndre?
He's amazing. He's my firstborn. He changed my life on multiple occasions. He's a very, very generous, good-hearted person, hard worker. Yes. I learned a lot from him and, his work ethic, and he keeps going. He keeps going and he pushes through adversity. So I don't know if that was more or less than 20 words, but I can keep going.
It was perfect.
Yep. We're all moms, so the difficult part of that question was the 20 words. That's okay. So tell us, where did you raise him?
I raised him in North Carolina until he was about 15, 16. And then we moved back to New Jersey, where I'm originally from.
Oh, okay. And where did he start playing basketball?
In North Carolina, in Charlotte. It was an everyday thing for him.
What did he love about basketball?
What did he love about it, or what did I love about it?
Okay, Mom, tell us. What do you both love about basketball separately?
Busy. Kept him busy. He can probably answer that question more than I could, honestly, but the passion that he had for it, because he would do it every day and he would study the game. I think that's all he knows. I mean, he knows other things, but just from a little boy coming up and the fact that he's doing it now as his career, I mean, it's just a part of him. So he loves it. And I loved it because it kept him active. It was during that time when all the kids were on the video games and eating.
So you're nicely saying when the kids were sitting at home playing video games, getting fat, he wasn't.
Neither one of them were. I had two sons, but I mean, a lot of kids were. So a lot of moms, we were like, nope, you got to go outside.
Well, that's how I grew up. I mean, I wasn't allowed inside. I mean, at one point as a child, you have to just stay outside until it got dark. Well, until that lamppost came. You know what I mean? When the light came on, then you had to run home. Stephanie, was it like that with you too?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, absolutely. And I wish that it was still that way now, but my kids more so play inside and have the electronic entertainment.
Yeah, we could come inside for water. We could come in for water. We were thirsty.
So your kids were allowed to come inside for water?
Yeah, they could come in for water, oranges, snacks. Yeah.
But get back outside and play basketball, right?
Do something. Soccer, ride your bike, skate, do something.
So when did DeAndre really get serious about playing basketball?
I think he always was serious about it.
Yeah.
I remember probably in the 10th grade or 10th grade, he had a tournament. Well, he was picked to be, it was just 80 kids that they picked in North Carolina. And, you have so many road trips, and I thought it was in Greensboro, but it really was in Raleigh. So that's like another hour. And he was so upset. And I'm just driving. And I look here coming down my face like, you're going to get there on time. So when he started getting upset about missing practice, well, not missing practice, he didn't miss practice or being late or, if I'm coming from work or something like that. So I'll probably say around 10th grade, 11th grade. That's when he got serious about it.
Were you a single mom at that time?
Yes, always.
So how is it to navigate that with your boys? You're running around, you're working, and then you have to get into these tournaments. I mean, for a single mom, that must have been very difficult.
Well, you learn to balance. Yeah. You learn to accept help for those who offer, a lot of the, in that world, in the AAU world and the basketball world, or, you know, a lot of other parents may help. So I had good friends that would help. A couple specifically that would help with him. My mom would help, you know, when she could. And, you know, I got in trouble a lot with work because if my kids had to do something.
Yeah. She's like, deuces.
I get another job.
Yeah.
I mean, I always came 2 or 3. So, you know.
Yeah.
I just always wanted him, you know, and Adrian to know would always be there for them. So you just learn how to balance.
Well, I guess as a parent, you really don't have much of a choice, right? I mean, you just have to keep pushing forward and getting your kids wherever they need to be. I mean, hey, listen, I feel you. I had the same situation, too, trying to get my son to all these tournaments, 8, 9, and 10 hours away from home at any given moment. But like you said, you know how many sick days that I have? Or, yeah. Answering my phone in the stalls in the bathroom, and all of a sudden I had a headache and had to leave because someone called and needed my son in the U.S. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I don't care if they see it now, but.
Yeah, I worked for the airline as well, so we would utilize that. So we know how to make it work at home.
Yeah, you know what? There you go. I had a car that, listen, from the jalopy to the nice car to the car with 3 wheels. Who cares, man? I mean, you just, you know, because I don't care if Kim had to get up and push. Just we're getting there. Like, you know what I mean? Because for me, I saw that a coach or the team saw potential in him because he was all the way in Canada. My mentality was we're so far away. So just the mere fact that they were calling and saying, hey, can you bring your son to this tournament so he can play with us or to our workout or something? I was like, okay, hold on a minute. There's something here. So I get what you're saying when you just got to do what you got to do.
Especially when you see the passion and, you know, you have to go in there when they're calling. It makes a difference.
Yeah. So growing up, he had his brother Adrian by his side, which was really, to everything I'm reading, it was his best friend. Can you talk about their dynamics?
Oh, those two. They were night and day. Night and day. But DeAndre thought he was Adrian's father. Meaning if I told him to do something, he'll tell Adrian to do it. You know, you know, it was just them two growing up, you know, together. You know, they had cousins and half cousins, but, you know, in the house on a day-to-day basis, it's the boys. And,
right.
You know, they had a funny dynamics, like especially at school. Adrian, DeAndre, you know, he's making me feel some kind of way. Well, you're the little brother, and he doesn't want to be bothered right now.
Right.
But you know, they would get together and plot. You know,
Of course.
You know how the boys do. I mean, I don't have any girls, thank God. But no offense, because I'm enough. But no, they definitely hung in there tight together. I will definitely say that.
I have 2 boys too, so I don't know the girl dynamic. Stephanie has a girl. She has one of each, so she would know better than the both of us. I mean, are your kids competitive, Stephanie?
I actually think it's exactly how Essence described it. Like our daughter is the older of the 2, and we always joke that she's our youngest son's actual mother because he checks with her. I'll say, you can do that, and he'll say, okay, Deja, can I do that? So she runs the show. But they are night and day, but inseparable, exactly the way you described.
So let's talk about when basketball started getting serious for him at one point. He was playing AAU, and then he went to high school. But then he went to St. Joseph's University. So what was the decision behind him going there?
The decision on St. Joe's at that time, so DeAndre wasn't a top-ranked player. Always pretty much was an underdog, but that's the world's fault, not his fault. So when it came down to, you know, the offers that were there, you know, the schools that, you know, the dream schools, they weren't falling. So it was down to Temple and St. Joe's. And for me, at St. Joe's, I didn't see any player like him. On a lot of the other visits we went on, there was, very similar players. Right. And I just felt like if he went there, he can create his own lane, and which he did.
So pretty much you were saying you felt that this is where he could stand out a little bit more.
Well, he could be DeAndre.
Oh, absolutely. You see, I think you're probably like the first person that actually came on the show and said that. To me, it's just a different perspective, right? It's like, well, it was pretty, the weather was nice, or, or which is a great program. But it's more about him and where he fits in and how he fits in. And I think that's pretty different.
It's only one. It's only one DeAndre.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I see his Instagram. There's only one of him. So yeah, he's all alone. So I love his Instagram. Like, I'm a follower now.
Thank you. He's Mr. PR. He has no PR.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later. So during his sophomore year, that's when he started getting more recognition and recognized more as possible NBA talent. Was there something that you had to do a little bit differently at that point to push him to the next level?
I think at that point, that's when it got serious for me, because honestly, the fact that he was going to college, I was so thankful. So the first year as a rookie, that was just amazing. They won the championship, Atlantic 10. Then he got co-rookie of the year, and that was amazing. So okay, this is getting serious now. Okay. We'll watch out. Other players are coming up that he's played against and knows, and then they're going to the draft. I'm like, okay, it's serious now. So, that summer, that sophomore year, all the seniors had left, and I don't know what was going on. It was pretty bad. that sophomore year was pretty bad. Closer to the end of the season, me and Phil Martelli had to have a conversation because DeAndre didn't want to come out of the games.
Right.
And, your body wear and tear, and I think he had that year like the most minutes in the country because he didn't come on the games. We have to look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going into his junior year, I was talking to Coach and I said, Coach, we got to get it this year. We're going to do it. And he's like, looking at me like I'm crazy. I said, we're going to win. We're going to win. And he's like, and I gave him an offer, and I ended up, we won again, and he got player of the year. And I said, well, we win. I want this, and I got it.
Moms know best. So, oh no, we know best. Not a little bit. No. So, what was your decision or his decision to declare for the draft now in 2016?
It was time.
That's the best answer. Listen, if you feel it's time, then just do it. I mean, when my son decided, there was a lot of things going on and a lot of decisions to be made. And, you had half of the circle was saying, no, wait another year because, this draft, this year 2014, it's stacked. And then it was, okay, well, no, hold on. You have to go, or change schools. There was just so much going on. And at this point, we were like, you know what, just go. Just try and see what happens. I mean, he ended up going undrafted that year, but he's in the league now. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that just because that night it doesn't work out that, the dream won't ever come. So So you as a parent, when you knew like, okay, I'm ready for DeAndre to get there, I mean, you did what you had to do.
I mean, it was a little bit more to it also. But, well, for me, because how they go in the summers and they take classes in the summers. So he would only have 3 classes left to take to graduate. So it wasn't,
Okay.
it wasn't a situation because, some people are like, you're going to, he's going to college, you're going to pull him out. And listen, this is a business opportunity. You're not going to tell me if you personally had an opportunity to go and work your dream job and make millions of dollars that you wouldn't do it. So I had to starve distractions and just do what we felt was best.
Right.
And he was comfortable with it. He was a little nervous at first, but God is good.
So what'd you guys do to prepare for the draft now?
Well, after March Madness, we went all the way to Oregon. Oh man, we thought we were gonna win. We went second round. That was fun. And that was fun. That was really, really fun. But I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna afford to go to Cali next. Because we were going. But so basically once he declared, he ended up, signing with an agent, and he went to Vegas to train.
And he went, that was then the Atlanta Hawks, they invited him to come do a workout with them.
Yeah,
What was that like? What was that like for him? Was that his first one?
No, I don't think that was his first one. Oh, wow. Don't ask me that. It was a lot going on at that time, but it was fun, and he was going,
Right.
and he was going up against, his competitors. So I think it was a great time for him.
And how is your family feeling about him now declaring for the draft and getting ready? Like, what was the vibe like in your family?
Everybody was so proud. I mean, you watch him grow up, and he's been doing it, and you're seeing he's reaching his goals. And I mean, we were all excited.
And then a few weeks before the draft, we know that your family faced a tragedy with the death of your son. So I just want to know, how did you guys as a family push forward? Because I know you as a mom, you got to remain strong. You have a loss of one son, and then here you have another son whose career needs to push forward. Like, I don't even know, like, what to act. Like, how did you do that?
I don't know.
Hmm?
When I look back now, I don't know. I mean, I probably was numb and just carried on. I had, prior to us losing Adrian, I had, put together a draft party, something intimate, at a little banquet hall, because even though we were in Jersey, we weren't going to go because it's just a lot.
Right.
So, but we're going to celebrate anyway, So that was already set up. And then, when Adrian passed June 11th, I didn't care about anything.
That's right.
And then maybe after his service, and then even the workouts and everything had to stop.
Right.
So, at that point for me, either the teams want him or they don't.
Right.
So I felt like his body of work spoke for him, and just prayed on it and just continued on. And that was probably the best thing that could have happened on June 21st. So I think a lot of family support, a lot of friends support, and knowing that he needed me, knowing that he had his own angel to guide him through, it just kept me, I just kept pushing to push him, because, I never want to let him see me weak, because,
Right.
So.
Of course, as a mother, you just have to stand tall and, like you said, don't let them see you weak, right? And I don't know.
I think, like, just as women, we're strong anyway, but moms have, like, this superhero power. Recently, I was teaching a class, and I found out while I was teaching that my grandmother had passed away, and I was sort of expecting it, but I was so close with her, and I had to finish teaching the class, and I did without a hitch, like, just bossed up all the way through, and then literally when the class ended at 4:01, I broke, but just as what you're saying, you had a job to get done, and you got it done. And I think that's amazing, Essence. Like you did what you had to do.
Thank you.
So on draft night, the GM and the coach of the Atlanta Hawks called and told you that your baby was chosen 21st overall. Tell us about that moment.
Well, so where we had the draft party, there was the banquet room, but then we also had a room, like a regular hotel room next door in case we needed to go in there. And DeAndre got the call. And we, of course, the TV screens are in there and everything. And he got the call, and me and my mom, we jumped up right with him. And I've never seen him. Like, he did like this gallop. Like, he got... And I was so happy. I was so happy that he got called. You know what I mean? Like, he got called. Like, what else could make him feel better after losing his brother and his best friend? So it wasn't about me. It was all about him. I was very, very happy for him.
Well, let's talk about his rookie year now, because now he's on the Atlanta Hawks. New team, new blood, new friends, new job. What was that like for him now, getting ready to pretty much leave the family now and go work?
Well, I ended up coming with him because the plan was for him and Adrian to go together. But it just made sense, to grieve and get through everything. But it was amazing. We went to Vegas went to Vegas for camp out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so hot, but it was just so really, really nice. Really, really nice. The Hawks were very welcoming. At that time, Malik Rose was there, and he was such a pleasure. Honestly, such a pleasure to help us get through the process. Like, Malik was really, really a blessing, to be honest. Just maneuvering around, at the arena and just things like that. So it was good. I saw my son play against LeBron here 4 overtimes, and he was giving him defense the whole game. And
my baby.
Even though when he came in, it was so much going on with the Hawks. He was like 6 in that position.
Yeah.
Well, who cares?
Exactly, who cares? So your son now is, like I was saying before, in a new team, and he has to find a way to fit in. But you as a mom, how did you fit in with the other parents?
Well, so they have the family room, and the owners, Jamie, very, very welcoming. They, always plan things for the family. So that was really, really good. I really, really appreciated that. The other moms, it takes a little adjustment, when you're the rookie mom and, you don't know where to go, what to do. But it was interesting because, a lot of people got, traded or this, or, so everybody didn't stay, so that's something I had to get used to. You get close to someone and then they're gone and all that good stuff.
I remember my first time going to the family room, in the magic room, and I met, the moms are there, the dads are there, and the girlfriends, wives, children. I just walk in and I'm all quiet, and that didn't last long. That didn't last long. Within 10 minutes, I had all kinds of friends. It's like, wait, who's your child? Oh, come sit with us. And they were talking, and they were telling me the ins and the outs and the do's and the don'ts and where to go and where to sit, where not to sit, and how you get to sit courtside and all kinds of good stuff, So, yeah. It's a nice dynamic, right? It just makes it better as a parent when the other parents are nice, because that's not always the case.
If they are.
That's not always the case. But I guess we've both been blessed.
mean, you know, when you're supposed to be there, when you belong there, you just make your way.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it'll work.
So during his rookie year, he didn't really play that much, and he went back and forth with the G League. So how did he use that time to develop?
I mean, he understood.
Right.
You know, it's not a sprint. You know, he's kind of used to that. You know, if that makes. He knows his time is coming. Even now, 4 years in. You know. He just, you know, he can adjust. You have to adjust in this world, not just in sports. You just have to adjust in life, and you just stick to who you are, and you stay true to yourself, and you know you work on you, you know. And I know it was a lot for him that rookie year, mentally, physically, you know, but still standing.
So DeAndre grew up watching Vince Carter. I see the smile. Now he is his colleague. I mean, come on now. So as a vet, did Vince offer DeAndre some advice, like what to do, what not to do, how to play, teach him any moves? Was he like that mentor to him?
Well, I don't get involved in that because as much as I want to, I might mess it up. Because I know how much he loved Vince Carter.
Yeah.
You know, when Vince first came to the Hawks, the Hawks have a barbecue every year. You know, welcome. And I said, DeAndre, you know, you have to introduce, because I never asked him really to introduce, you know. And he just smiled and he introduced, and I said, I have to tell him, DeAndre. And he just smiled, and I just started to tell him. And DeAndre just walked off and just let me do my thing. So, you know, I let him know how he really felt about him. You know, DeAndre's laid back. He's not going to be too overexcited about anything, but you know you're excited. So I don't want to overdo it with my excitement about it. So, you know, I'll just say my little thing here and there. But I think they have a good relationship from what I know. So. Right. He's playing with his idol, and his idol is wearing Adrian's birthday, 15.
Oh, that's right.
You know, DeAndre wears 95.
Right.
So I'm not messing with it. I'm just going to leave it alone.
Good vibes on that team all around. So we have to remember 15 and 95. That's right. 'Cause that was the year that Adrian was born, right?
Correct.
The 95 is why he wears that number. What an awesome tribute. So let's talk a little bit about your baby's image. I mean, Fear the Fro, Pierre with the hair. I have to ask about that.
The suits.
Yeah.
Going on. You know, you might have to have him on as a guest in regards to the hair, because I have absolutely nothing to do with it anymore. I thought Fear the Fro was a thing, but he's braids, it's twists, it's this, and it looks so good though. I can't complain. He looks amazing. So, and I think he likes the versatility of it, and you know, his own unique way to style it, and you know, so it could be worse. So
at least he brushes it. I know. Sometimes I remember going to some of the games, and I remember saying to my son, and I used to laugh, and I'm like, why is that player's hair like that? And I'm like, he brushed it that way? And he used to laugh, and he's like, can you stop? I'm like, I'm just asking. Like, he put it that way. It's meant to be.
Can't go there, Wendy. Don't go there.
Oh, okay, I won't. Sorry. Let me mind my business then. Does he have a favorite designer? Because I see him always swagged up.
The last I heard, and this was last year, I know he's always like Fendi, but it may have changed. I don't know. But, you know, he's interested in fashion himself. So, you know, maybe he'll be a creative in that space one day.
So the Atlanta Hawks, I just want to go back to basketball. They're a rebuilding team. So how has it been navigating his career on with them?
And you know, it's interesting. You know, coming into this last season, he was the last player from 2016 on the roster in general.
Right.
So, out with the old and with the new and all that, good stuff. And you just have to play your position, and, you can't take things personal. You know your game, and, if they see you in the future, fine. If they don't, then, you're skilled enough to play where you need to play. So, it's that life.
That absolutely. So that brings me to the next question about free agency period, which is approaching for DeAndre. Does he think that there might be an extension with the Atlanta Hawks, or does he feel it may be ready for him to move on?
Does he think? And you personal way. Touching the nerve right now.
Sorry.
Like I said, God is good, and you just stay the course, and you want to be in a position, and you want to be in a home where you're valued and you're appreciated, and you can play your part. So wherever that is, that's where will be the best place for him. So.
Absolutely. I mean, I say the same thing to my son too, right? Every player wants to be the player, the one who just is on the court all the time. You know what I mean? So sometimes, there's always that talk of, maybe it's time to go, and then but I love it. So you never know, right? They just want to feel appreciated and loved, but at the end of the day, they just want to play.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
They can say, is there a team on Mars or Venus?
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
So you opened, or you started, I should say, a not-for-profit organization, AP World. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's my baby. So AP World is in honor of Adrian. So Adrian, his name is Adrian Potts. Right. And Adrian always was, trying to save the world. If someone had an issue, he's there. And he would be 14, doing, I'm like, Adrian, you're too young to take on these issues, but he always felt he was a grown man. And, he died how he lived, breaking up a fight. He got shot in the back. So, AP World, we are a resource for victims of gun violence. So within that time frame, that week is the hardest. Right. It's the hardest. Like, how do you get through that week?
Right.
Obituaries, services, flowers, all the things that you need. So we're just here as a resource to help them get through that week. And then also, continue on with mentorship and, just connect. And it's tough. It's tough, especially for a child, losing a child. So that dynamic, I hope we don't have to do this program, but we have to for now. And so that's what AP World is about.
Well, it's a fantastic program. I mean, I was reading up on it, and so my question is, what kind of support do you get from the public, because it's such a good organization? Like, what support do you get?
Yeah, well, we'll get donations. We'll get, the Hawks, they'll donate. Others in the community. We're working on our database now, with grief counseling and, just expanding. We're about to really, amp it up to really get it out there more. But we get a lot of support. We have a new director now, which I'm thankful for, because it's so close to me. I felt like we weren't accomplishing things because it's so close. So yeah, it's gonna be great, and we'll be in the community more. Even though I know we've done a lot, it's just now in this climate. Yeah, we have to really get out there a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much going on right now. With Breonna Taylor verdict, with George Floyd, and just everything else that's going on. It's just...
Yeah, I can't watch it.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
I think Adrian knew because he had told me, Mom, we need to get a bunker. He woke me up because he was into it and he read a lot and he researched a lot and he was ready. He said, Mom, we have to get prepared. And so it's so weird in this world now because I want to talk to him,
Yeah.
but he knew. He said, I'm out of here. This world he's off where.
He's in the best bunker. He, it's so funny you say that, bunker. I was talking to a mom the other day, and we were talking about just since the beginning of COVID, and she said she hasn't really left her house. And then with them living in Portland, with all the fires, now she really can't leave her house. And I was saying to her, it's like, your house has now turned into a bunker.
For
You know what I
real.
mean? Like, you can't leave. But she said, I never appreciated my home more, although now that I'm stuck in it, right? Yeah, I guess this is where you learn to love your family, I guess, eh?
Absolutely.
Essence, I want to ask you, what kind of advice, and this is my last question to you, what advice would you give to a parent of an up-and-coming basketball player?
I would definitely focus on if this is something that they really want to do and why.
Yeah.
Do they have the skill set? Are you trying to live through your child? Do they really want to play? Do you want to do it for a scholarship? I'm into that. You have to make a decision, and be mindful and clear the clutter. Because every player, although they're our sons and our daughters and we love them and they're so great, and but the truth is everyone isn't going to the NBA.
That's right.
And you never want to mislead them. I think it's so unfair when, I've seen parents, like I remember DeAndre's last AAU game and I was thankful. That I didn't have to be on that circuit anymore. Because it's a lot of pressure.
It is.
It's a lot of pressure. And if as a parent, if you have them involved to keep them active and busy and it's their passion, that's great. But just make sure that you're not misleading them and you're guiding them and you're educating. Oh, educate yourself. Educate yourself. I was told so many times I didn't know what I was doing. Why is she doing this and that? Because it's my son.
That's right. It's funny how other people think they know your child better than you, right? But at the same time, it's not necessarily always knowing, because I see some parents sometimes and they say, I know my child better than everybody else and I think this is best for them. And I'm like, you know your child, but you don't know the sport, or you don't know what the route is or what you should be doing. But they just feel because it's their child that they know everything. And, I look at some of my son's friends and I'm like, this is why they're still playing community ball. Because some of them, and it's true, because some of them are really, really talented. I mean, but they just couldn't get far because of different routes that their parents took because they just thought they knew more. So at one point, like you're saying, you just have to step back and just allow those people that have the experience come in and just help your kid get to where he needs to be, and make sure it's about the kid and not you. Because you have some parents that want to live vicariously through their child, right? You know what I mean? They've already had their seat picked out in the arena.
And it's unfortunate, especially like I've seen a lot of players and they were, higher ranked and, and everyone knew them and to see that they, they're not around.
Right.
And a lot of it is because of a lot of the things that were going on.
Right.
And sometimes you have to be still.
Yep.
You have to be still, find your team, find your niche and stay the course.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I was told a couple of times but that I didn't know what I was doing. And like, you don't know what you're doing. I'm like, okay. Cam's not going to make it to the NBA. Okay. You shouldn't be going to this game. Okay. And I would just, whatever. And maybe some of the decisions I made weren't the right decision, but at the end of the day, it got him where he is now. I mean, you know what I mean? He put himself on the court with his, you know what I mean, his talent, but he didn't drive himself to the games. You know what I mean? He didn't talk to all these coaches in these schools and do everything else that the parents do, right? I mean, they're children, so they can't.
Right.
So I love your advice to those parents because you hit it on the head. So Essence, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming on our show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Wendy and Stephanie. I appreciate it. I hope that, it can help some families.
Absolutely. And keep in touch.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Thank you so much, Essence.
Thank you.
Bye. Join me and Steph every week on Courtside Moms, where you get a courtside seat outside of the arena.
Thanks for joining us. Subscribe and listen for free on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.